Early one morning, Peter opened the gate and went out on a big green meadow. On the branch of a big tree sat a little bird, Peter's friend. "All is quiet," chirped the bird gaily. Soon a duck came waddling around. She was glad that Peter had not closed the gate and decided to take a nice swim in the deep pond in the meadow. Seeing the duck, the little bird flew down upon the grass, settled next to the duck, and shrugged her shoulders. "What kind of a bird are you if you can't fly?" she said. To this, the duck replied, "What kind of a bird are you if you can't swim?" and dived into the pond. They argued and argued, the duck swimming in the pond, the little bird hopping along the shore. Suddenly, something caught Peter's attention. He noticed a cat crawling through the grass. The cat thought, "The bird is busy arguing. I'll just grab her." Stealthily, she crept toward her on velvet paws. "Look out!" shouted Peter, and the bird immediately flew up into the tree. While the duck quacked angrily at the cat. From the middle of the pond. The cat crawled around the tree and thought, "Is it worth climbing up so high? By the time I get there, the bird will have flown away." Grandpa came out. He was angry because Peter had gone to the meadow. It is a dangerous place. If a wolf should come out of the forest, then what would you do? Peter paid no attention to Grandfather's words. Boys such as he are not afraid of wolves. But Grandfather took Peter by the hand, led him home, and locked the gate. no sooner had Peter gone than a big gray wolf came out of the forest. In a twinkling, the cat climbed up the tree. The duck quacked, and in her excitement, jumped out of the pond. But no matter how hard the duck tried to run, she couldn't escape the wolf. He was getting nearer, catching up with her. And then he got her, and with one gulp, swallowed her. And now, this is how things stood. The cat was sitting on one branch. The bird on another. Not too close to the cat. And the wolf walked around and around the tree, looking at them with greedy eyes. In the meantime, Peter, without the slightest fear, stood behind the closed gate, watching all that was going on. He ran home, took a strong rope, and climbed up the high stone wall. One of the branches of the tree around which the wolf was walking stretched out over the wall. Grabbing hold of the branch, Peter lightly climbed over onto the tree. Peter said to the bird, "Fly down and circle around the wolf's head, only take care he doesn't catch you." The bird almost touched the wolf's head with her wings, while the wolf snapped angrily at her from this side and that. How the bird did worry the wolf. How he wanted to catch her. But the bird was clever, and the wolf simply couldn't do anything about it. Meanwhile, Peter made a lasso, and carefully letting it down, caught the wolf by the tail and pulled with all his might. Feeling himself caught, the wolf began to jump wildly, trying to get loose. But Peter tied the other end of the rope to the tree, and the wolf's jumping only made the rope around his tail tighter. Just then, the hunters came out of the woods, following the wolf's trail and shooting as they went. But Peter, sitting in the tree, said, "Don't shoot. Bertie and I have already caught the wolf. Now help us take him to the zoo." And now, imagine the triumphal procession. Peter at the head, after him, the hunters leading the wolf. And winding up the procession, Grandfather and the cat. Grandfather tossed his head discontentedly. "Well, and if Peter hadn't caught the wolf, what then?" Above them flew Bertie, chirping merrily. "My, what fine ones we are, Peter and I! Look what we have caught!" And if one would listen very carefully, he could hear the duck quacking in the wolf's belly, because the wolf, in his hurry, had swallowed her alive.
This is the story of the Saggy, Baggy elephant. A happy little elephant was dancing through the jungle. He thought he was dancing beautifully. 1, 2, 3, kick. But whenever he went 1, 2, 3, his big feet pounded so that they shook the whole jungle. And whenever he went kick, he kicked over a tree or a bush. And when he waved his trunk, he tore down a traily vine every single time. But the happy little elephant didn't mind that. He just danced along, leaving wreckage behind him, until he met a parrot.
"Why are you shaking the jungle all to pieces?"
cried the parrot, who had never before seen an elephant.
"What kind of animal are you, anyway?"
The little elephant said, "I don't know what kind of animal I am. I live all alone in the jungle. I dance and I kick and I call myself Sookie. It's a good-sounding name, and it sort of fits me, don't you think?
Maybe.
Answered the parrot.
But if it does, it's the only thing that does fit you. Your ears are too big for you, and your nose is way too big for you, and your skin is much, much too big for you. It's baggy and saggy. It hangs on you in wrinkles. You should change your name to Saggy Baggy.
Sookie looked himself over. He found his pants did look pretty wrinkled. I'd be glad to improve myself, he sighed, but I don't know how to go about it. What shall I do?
I can't tell you. It looks terrible to me. I never saw anything like you in all my life,
replied the parrot. The little elephant tried to smooth out his skin. He rubbed it with his trunk. That did no good. He pulled up his pants legs, but they fell right back into dozens of wrinkles. It was very disappointing, and the parrot's saucy laugh didn't help a bit. Just then a tiger came walking along. He was a beautiful, sleek tiger. His skin fit him like a glove. Sookie rushed right up to him and said, "Tiger, please tell me why your skin fits so well. The parrot says mine is all baggy and saggy, and I do want to make it fit me like yours fits you." The tiger didn't care a fig about Sookie's troubles, but he did feel flattered and important, and he did feel just a little mite hungry.
"My skin always did fit," said the tiger. "Maybe it's because I take a lot of exercise. But, added the tiger, if you don't care for exercise, I shall be delighted to nibble a few of those extra pounds of skin off for you."
"Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you," cried Sookie. "I love exercise. Just watch me." So Sookie ran and ran until he was well beyond the reach of the tiger. Then he began to exercise. He pulled up trees, roots and all. He did somersaults and rolled on his back. He walked on his hind legs, and he walked on his front legs. The little elephant was sure his skin fit just right now. He felt very happy, but tired, too. "And I'm awfully thirsty," he said. So Sookie wandered down to the river to get a big drink of water. And there he met the parrot, who laughed harder than ever. "I tried exercising," sighed the little elephant. "Now I don't know what to do."
Soak in the water the way the crocodile does, laughed the parrot. Maybe your skin will shrink.
The parrot flew away chuckling to himself. And Sookie tramped straight into the water. But before he had soaked nearly long enough to shrink his skin, a great big crocodile came swimming up, snapping his fierce jaws and looking greedily at Sookie's tender ears. The little elephant clambered up the bank and ran away, feeling very discouraged. "I'd better hide in a dark place where my bags and sags and creases and wrinkles won't show," he said. By and by he found a deep, dark cave, and with a heavy sigh, he tramped inside and sat down. Suddenly he heard a fierce growling and grumbling and snarling. He peeped out of the cave and saw a lion padding down the path.
"I'm hungry," roared the lion. "I haven't had a thing to eat today, not a thing except a thin, bony antelope, and a puny monkey, and a buffalo, but such a tough one, and 2 turtles. But you can't count turtles. There's nothing much to eat between those saucers they wear for clothes. I'm hungry. I could eat an elephant."
And he began to pad straight toward the dark cave where the little elephant was hidden. "This is the end of me, sags, bags, wrinkles, and all," thought Sookie, and he let out one last trumpeting bellow. Just as he did, the jungle was filled with a terrible crashing and an awful stomping. A whole herd of great gray wrinkled elephants came charging up, and the big hungry lion jumped up into the air, turned around, and ran away as fast as he could go. Sookie peeped out of the cave, and all the big elephants smiled at him. Sookie thought they were the most beautiful creatures he had ever seen. "I wish I looked just like you," he said.
"You do," grinned the big elephants. "You're a perfectly dandy little elephant."
And that made Sookie so happy that he began to dance. 1, 2, 3, kick through the jungle with all those big, brave, friendly elephants behind him. The saucy parrot watched them dance. But this time, he didn't laugh, not even to himself.
Scrawny, scrawny, tawny, scrawny, tawny, scrawny lion. Oh, you're so thin, your ribs cave in. We don't blame you for crying. You can't catch us, you can't catch us, you can't catch us.
Oh, I am just a tawny, scrawny lion, and I'm thinner than a lion ought to be. Though I eat a lot of animals, I am never satisfied, 'cause the animals see me coming and they run away and hide. So I have to run and chase them for my dinner. And that's the reason I keep getting thinner and thinner and thinner.
I'm a fat and happy little rabbit, and I hopped into the scrawny lion store. When that hungry lion saw me, oh, he let out such a roar. Though I should have run for cover, I just sat down on the floor. And I said to him, you poor old scrawny lion, you're so very thin, it makes me feel like crying, crying, crying.
Well, you see, all I am is bones and hair, 'cause in my tummy there's nothing there. Though I go hunting every day, most of the animals get away.
Tawny, scrawny, tawny, scrawny, tawny, scrawny lion. Oh, you're so thin, your ribs cave in. We don't blame you for crying. Oh, poor Mr. Lion. You ought to be as fat as butter, as sleek as satin. I know why you get thinner, 'cause you have no friends who ever ask you home with them for dinner. My fat little brothers and my fat little sisters are as happy as they can be. They're cooking a stew, a heavenly brew, so why don't you come home with me?
Well, I went along with that fat little rabbit. It just took a minute or two. And without even looking, I smelled something cooking.
A pot of delicious stew, the yummiest carrot stew.
Dear fat little rabbits and all the animals in the forest, since eating that stew, I feel brand new. From now on, I won't eat any of you.
Hurrah! Tawny, brawny, tawny, brawny, tawny, brawny lion. That carrot stew made you look brand new. No more will you be crying.
You're fat as butter, as sleek as satin. No more will you get thinner,
'Cause at last you found some little friends who'll ask you home with them for dinner.
Poor Mr. Filbberty Jib, with the rumble, bumble, bumble in his head.
Noise annoys me so, he said, but everywhere I go, he said, it's noisy, it's noisy. From the time I wake till I go to bed, the streetcars clang, the doors all bang, the great big clock goes ding-dong-dang.
Poor Mr. Filbberty Jib had a feeling that he ought to go away. So one day to his wife he said,
Let's try the country life, he said. Let's try it, let's try it. Maybe there I'll find some peace and quiet.
But when they got there, the cow said moo, the owl said hoo, the rooster said cock-a-doodle-doo. Then Mrs. Filbberty Jib found a way to fix the rumble in his head. She said, if you want quiet, quiet. You will have to change your diet. Eat more roast beef.
More roast beef?
Lots of beef, I'm sure, is the perfect cure.
And the beef I ate makes me feel so great that there's no more rumble.
No more bumble.
No more rumble, bumble, bumble in his head.
Scuffy was a little toy tugboat who was made to sail in a bathtub. But Scuffy thought he was meant for bigger things.
Scuffy was a huffy-puffy tugboat. Very small but also very bold was he. Though he was a tiny boat, he decided he would float down to where the river meets the sea. So he started down the brook one sunny morning, saying, what a happy voyage this will be. Oh, he smiled and splashed along while he sang this happy song. I'm bound for where the river meets the sea. Toot, toot, went Scuffy down the brook. Toot, tooting at every turn he took. Down the river and around the bend, till he came to the ocean, his journey's end. But the sea was wild and rough and dark and stormy. When they found him, he was frightened as could be. Scuffy said, please take me home, and I'll never, never roam down to where the river meets the sea. Because the bathtub will be good enough for me.